Breaking news. He's still out on the prowl. Now,
Is he
Tahoe
really?
police, they're on the lookout for a prowler who fondles women's feet in hotel rooms. Now, he is taking the Lake Tahoe area by storm in a way that is causing everyone to feel little toe-based fear. A prowler, he's breaking into these rooms, right? And people are arriving, and they're arriving to consciousness. They're waking up to a man sucking and fondling their feet.
I feel like we covered this story like 3 weeks ago.
There has been many of these stories.
The foot fetish is not a problem. You can find somebody to fulfill that. That's actually really very simple.
The guy we covered was the guy that was the hotel employee.
He was sucking on all the toes.
He was sucking on toes, but he was a man-on-man toe sucker. This is a man-on-woman toe fondler.
Okay.
So these toes are being fondled, and they said in both cases, according to investigators, the victims' rooms were on the ground floor, and it's suspected at this time that the suspect entered the rooms via the unsecured exterior screen door. So that's the thing to think about. And upon waking, the guests reported that the intruder left via the screen door, which they have no description of this man. There's no description out of this person. Again, I keep saying man because I'm pretty certain it's gonna be a bro. Someone's going in there and they're playing with feet.
And this takes place in San Francisco, and I will see you in San Francisco.
That's a great plug.
This Sunday.
And Kissel's so good. Whatever hotel he's in, he's always, that's what he calls himself. Some people say foot fondler. He's more of a rogue masseuse.
Yeah. Well, isn't that something? And the women would wake up around 4:30 in the morning. So this guy is up real late.
Oh, yeah. That's a really early commute to fondle feet.
He could just buy a bunch of fake feet and rub those if he wanted to. That might actually work.
I think a lot of times they get the surprise factor. They like the fact that they're waking somebody up and they go like, whoa, and he's down there going like, yeah, sucking and licking on their feet.
Well, that's another story there. So we don't know. That person is out. He's a prowler. Watch your feet.
Watch your feet. Wear shoes while you sleep.
I guess you have to now.
I would if I was in Lake Tahoe.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah, that's all I'd wear.
Gotta wear shoes when you sleep now.
But be naked the rest of it.
Well, he doesn't seem to care.
I know, but then you can see that's might turn him off.
Yeah.
If he sees a hard dick, he might leave.
Get your farts on and things of that nature and get him out of there.
If you're a man, paint your toenails. This is the one thing. And then he thinks it's a lady, and then he's falling the feet, and then he looks up and it's a dude. And he's just like, oh, I'm not gay.
I think he likes any feet. I think any foot will do.
He might.
I can't really, I'm sure that I would be tricked to looking at feet and be like, that's a woman's feet. Give you half feet, pan up, and it'll just be a big old dude.
I don't know. Can you tell? Look at my foot. All right.
Let's see.
Would you possibly think that this foot's...
Let me see it, actually. It's very tiny.
You think that's a woman's foot? You like that?
It's small. No, I don't like. I'm not a foot person, so
you think that's good? You'd look at this feet and be like, "Hey there, beautiful. Hey there, you got a king, or you need a king at home because you're a queen."
I think you have fungus on your toe.
I'm in the process of fixing it. I got a cream on it.
Oh,
yeah. The nail had to grow back.
There was a Tennessee soccer coach that was arrested after...
It's a rich man's problem.
Tennessee soccer coach was arrested after videos of underage boys being raped were on his phone. So that's not good. This is Camelia Hurtado Campos.
See, that's great. Great story. Delete these.
So that's not good.
That's what I'd say. I'd say give it a delete.
This guy's a piece of shit. Honestly, let everybody know. Let everyone know.
You know what? Honestly, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I'm glad it's good for evidence, but at the same time being like, don't show me.
Wow.
Don't look. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Always 63 years old.
Always.
Anyway, so that guy's a real piece of shit.
Maybe it's like schizophrenia pops up when you're 25. Do you think that just being a pedophile shows up when you're like 45?
No, I think
you just like wake up one day and go like, oh, I wish boobies were deflated.
No. No.
Right? Is that bad?
No, I think it's far more intense than that.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, but hey, I'm not here for intensity.
Well, that's that story. They were unconscious. Oh, well, he'll have a nice time in prison as well. What's he in for? Watching the wrong kind of smut, that's for certain.
I feel like that's a way to frame it. I do want to talk a little bit, just kind of talk about the little bit of the case facts here, but a lot's going to be coming out in the next couple of days because this is super fucking weird, but it's very suspicious.
You want to talk UFOs?
No, I want to talk about the Rudy Farias case a little bit.
Dude,
because
this is crazy.
we're nowhere near finding out what in the living fuck is going on at the center of this story. But something is going to be revealed at some point that might explain what's going on. But right now, it is all over the place. Now, the facts was that a young man by the name of Rudy Farias was labeled as missing since March 6th in 2015.
Yep, 8
in
years
Houston,
ago.
Texas. This is 8 years ago. He said he was been missing. And then last Wednesday, he appeared. Right? Searchers went go looking for him. He appeared. He was in front of a hospital sleeping.
Well, they had stopped looking for him. Everyone basically at this point, they kind of assume he's dead.
He was dead, yes.
But it looks as if he was, perhaps it was a worse fate that he was living with.
Because now we're finding out that, yes, he was quote unquote missing for 8 years, but it claimed that now he was actually at home with his mother, possibly getting abused, sleeping in the same bed with her, being forced to be kept inside, being told to give people a fake name, while the mother went ahead and did things like did a GoFundMe about help me look for my son, help me do these various things. Right now, we're seeing what claims of this are real and what are fake, because a couple of, let's just call them independent researchers, got involved in the middle of the story, because we know that Rudy Farias wasn't missing because he voted 3 times. We know that he voted, he was out.
And he was able to speak with neighbors, but again, at that time,
he knew he was there.
The mom thought that it would been so long that everyone had forgot about him.
Yes.
He was forced to fulfill what she would refer to as father duties.
That's what he said. He said they treated me as daddy. Yeah.
He says that he was abused, drugged, and kept in slave-like conditions.
Given mushrooms in order to keep him confused. He was told to introduce himself as... But again, these are the claims that are being made by the people that were speaking on behalf of this young man, Rudy Farias. There were several what they're labeling as activists who were involved in telling this story.
I'm not questioning them. Where the fuck was the kid for 8 goddamn years?
He was inside, but the thing is that Rudy Farias himself has been talking to people on YouTube and these various places. He's doing all of these things that I imagine most people are telling him to not do.
I think he's extremely fucked in the head right now.
Yes, we have no idea what's going on with this young man, but he's saying, he's rolling it all back. He's now saying that the abuse didn't happen, that the drugs didn't happen, that all these kind of things. So I don't know what's happening. There's a lot of confusion.
Shame goes with being abused.
Utterly. I feel like Rudy Farias is just, he is traumatized and something is not adding up, and we have to figure out what the double hockey sticks. We don't.
No, we're not going to do that.
We're not going to do that. But someone else will.
Quinnell X, a Houston activist, they say no child should be treated like that by his own mother.
But no one knows how Quinnell knows what they know. And then it's all about whatever the hell this mother did, which is, it's very, very confusing.
Janie Santana is the name of the mother. And, that is real nasty stuff.
Because she acted like, that's the thing, is that she wrote on Facebook, it's him. It's our Rudy. He's been found and he's alive and in the hospital right now. She is acting as if he was missing as well. She's doing that. She's just
lying.
She's just lying. No one really knows what the fuck the truth is. It's very complicated.
I'm assuming that he was just violently abused for 8 years.
I think so,
forced to have sex with his mother.
I mean, I hope not. I hope that it was just them eating ice cream and doing puzzles. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't think
because maybe some of the father issues are really just more like maybe he was helping her pay taxes. Maybe he was cleaning the gutters out. In the right way, not the nasty way. Maybe he was like, I don't know.
Maybe one of the problems there. Either way, she's guilty of fraud.
But the dude was the young man.
Because, of course, when you have a GoFundMe for someone that's missing and you know for a fact that they're not missing, then that would be fraudulent.
But the poor young man also saw his brother die in front of his own eyes. And also his father was a police officer that was investigated in an internal affairs ticket rigging investigation. His name was Rudolph Farias III. He shot himself in the mouth while in a police vehicle while still in uniform the day he was asked to turn his badge in. So this poor young man
I'm getting too old for this shit.
He is really, this poor dude did not have a fair go at it.
Yeah, well, they say he was never missing over those 8 years.
No,
so there you go.
We'll find out. We'll find out what the hell happens. That's another depressing story.
That is a depressing story.
It is interesting, though. And there's another story that it's not quite as depressing.
Well, this is what Farias said. He said he was brainwashed.
Yes.
into leaving after his mother told him he would be arrested from leaving because his mom said, "Oh, you'll be arrested if you go outside."
But he's dialing it all. He's pulling everything
but he's a
back on
victim.
YouTube.
I mean, he's a victim,
Of
so
course.
it's-
I feel that he's just very confused. We just don't know what the hell's going on.
You can't even take his word for it, right? He needs to be deprogrammed, and honestly,
They don't do that anymore. They did it to Allison Mack.
I mean, he needs to go through,
They're not allowed-
hundreds of hours of therapy.
It's kind of crazy. You can't do deprogramming, I think, anymore. I think that technically it's like illegal. Like you have to hide it.
Whatever it would be called, he needs to go through therapy.
We should run a deprogramming. Like
Snap
program.
out of it.
Yeah, called Snap Out of It.
Snap out of it.
Yeah, and then what we do is we make you, first of all, we teach you how to eat whale style. Really relax into it. Hey, there. Brendan, on this next take, could you take that whole piece of chicken, put it in your mouth, and then pull it out like you're Heathcliff? Yeah, I think I can, Darren.